Well, it's been a tumultuous and confusing week this week, what with a 4-month post office strike, still underway, certainly in Gauteng. And that's been the one thing that has directly affected both you and me, I'm sure, and everybody else around the country. It's quite a lot of chaos. I mean, for example, we have a lot of the workers now have been sacked, the board has been dismissed, and now Parliament has called for the sacked workers to go back to jobs they no longer have. Very, very messy. But what is much more confusing, well, not necessarily confusing, but chaotic and potentially dangerous, is the expulsion of NUMSA last weekend and what has flowed from that. We've now had, yesterday or on Tuesday, Zwelinzima Vavi actually putting forward a very diplomatic letter which basically says he cannot support the expulsion of the National Union of Metal Workers by the COSATU executive. At the same time, the South African Municipal Workers Union was one of the 8 that originally called for a special national congress, wasn't there on Monday when the 7 supporters of NUMSA again made their stand in support of the Metal Workers Union. But now SAMWU has come back after a very messy court case. You know, this sort of thing does serious damage, not just to trade unions, not just to the COSATU or to the labour movement as a whole. It damages unions, it can damage the economy, and quite honestly, it is very damaging to our fragile democracy as it is. There's a desperate need for a resolution, and that resolution's always been possible through a special national congress that was called for by NUMSA and 8 other affiliates 15 months ago. But the leadership of the ANC, the SACP and COSATU, the bulk of the executive, the bureaucracy of COSATU, didn't want to call it, and we have to ask why. Well, we've been told, especially by Gwede Mantashe, the General Secretary of the ANC and former chair of the Communist Party, that this will arise, if we had one, what would arise would be a split in COSATU, and this must not happen. COSATU, if it splits, would not be a good thing. Probably so. But the point is COSATU has to make a decision. The membership of COSATU have to make that decision, and they do it at national congresses. To then draw a distinction between a special national congress and a national congress, as Mantashe has done, as Sadu Dlamini of COSATU has done, is absolutely nonsensical. A national congress is a national congress, no matter whether it's special or not. If it's special, it just means that it's taken at a time other than the scheduled normal 3-yearly phase. So what is actually going on now needs to be resolved, because if we don't resolve it, we're heading for, not over the cliff as Vavi says, we're heading for a national train smash, and that is not going to be good for anyone. That is actually what I'm going to concentrate on in my Inside Labour column, which you can read on this platform, Fin24, on Friday, and in print in the City Press on Sunday. Might even look at who the main losers in this will be. One of the reasons the ANC and the SACP, the South African Communist Party, are so opposed to the special congress is I think they fear that the majority of the unions may decide to follow NUMSA's example and break away from the ANC-led alliance. And that will be, in terms of finance and in terms of politics, a tremendous loss to both of them. But anyhow, we shall have to see what happens. We have to have a resolution, or else we're heading for trouble. And for this week, well, all from me. But remember, you can contact me, you can comment, you can criticize, have your say at editor@fin24.com. For this week, that's all from me. Cheers.